Whoa, Yolanda, what's your deal? Do you seriously just have no shame or something? I honestly want you to know, how can you live with yourself the way that you are? It is honestly just shocking to me and I don't understand it at all. Sorry, Brittany, but what exactly are you talking about? What exactly are you saying that I should be ashamed of? I'm not sure that I'm really following what you're trying to get at it. I mean, your whole existence. That's what you should be embarrassed about. Do you really not see what I'm talking about at all? Let's look at some face. You're a housewife who lives with people she's not related to and just leeches off their goodwill. How does it feel to have that to be your life? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I really don't think that I could ever live with myself if that was my life. I mean, what kind of person would ever think that it's okay to live the way that you are? It really is just said, you know? Brittany, what in the world are you talking about? I seriously don't understand where you're getting off. First of all, I'm not just a housewife as you said. I'm literally staying at home to take care of your mother who needs a live-in nurse. And the only reason that I'm doing this is because my husband, your brother, asked me to quit my job and do this. So do you still think that I should be embarrassed about what I do for a living? Oh, please, enough with those pathetic excuses. I don't even want to hear them from you. You really think that you can be a good person if you don't even have a job? All you do lays around someone else's house while you use up all of their money? Even just thinking about the way you abuse my family like that just makes me sick. Abuse your family? Did you seriously just say that? How on earth am I being abusive at all? You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm talking about financial abuse. I know that you're just using up all my parents' money with the way that you're living, and you really thought that no one would notice? Or maybe you just thought that no one would care, but everyone knows that all you are is a parasite. It sounds to me like you're just deciding for yourself what I am and what I'm not. But I can assure you that I'm hardly a housewife, and if you think that my life is so easy, then why don't you try living here and taking care of your mom full-time? And then I can go out and get a job, and I promise you that I won't ever call you the kinds of things that you call me. You wish it was that simple as trading places. But unlike you, I'm someone with actual skills, and I have better things to do than waste my time at home. Skills? You really think that I'm doing this because I can't find a job or something? You seriously need to grow up if you think that's the case. I literally quit my career to move in and take care of your mom full-time, and you have the nerve to tell me that I'm not fit to work? Just where do you get off when saying that someone else does, huh? You have got a real chip on your shoulder. Oh, but I'm not the only one that's saying these things, you know. My brother feels exactly the same way as I do. I'm sure of it. Wait a second, you mean that even Dean feels this way? That's right, even your own husband thinks that you're utterly useless. How does it feel to know that, Yolanda? I bet it hurts, doesn't it? But if you really don't believe me, then why don't you go and try asking him yourself? Maybe I will go and do just that. Thank you very much. Hey Dean, are you there? You and I have some serious talking to do. I just heard from your sister that you and her both looked down on me behind my back. I know that Britt did it, but do you really think that too? She was telling me how embarrassing it was that I was a housewife and that you were embarrassed of me too. I tried telling her that you were the one that asked me to quit my job and do this in the first place, but she just wouldn't listen.
Wait, what? Is our stupid little slave really trying to ask if I ever had any faith in her to do anything else? I don't remember giving you permission to ask me these kinds of stupid questions. But if you must know, you're taking care of my mom because there's nothing else that you're good for.
Wait, what? Dean, you can't be serious about this, right? Did you honestly forget that you were the one that asked me to do this? I mean, I can't believe that your sister was right. You're both just horrible. But if you think that you can get away with treating me like this, then you must be an even bigger idiot than Britt.
The only idiot here is you stupid moron.
I don't understand what's gotten into you, Dean. You told me that if anyone asked questions about why I had quit my job, that you would explain I was doing this for your family. But instead, you just turn around and make fun of me alongside your sister? I mean, I'm literally taking care of your sick mother. Does that not mean anything to you either?
Oh, please. You think you're so amazing just because you're taking care of my dear old mom? What do you want? A medal or something?
I don't believe this. I literally can't believe that you're treating me this way. It's just absurd.
Well, my sister was dead on about you. All you do is hang around the house doing nothing while you pretend like you're so busy always looking after my mom. Meanwhile, all you're really doing is using up my family's money. Money that should be left for us, their kids. But instead, you just relax all day and don't have to worry about a thing.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I had no idea that you felt this way about me whatsoever. I mean, why did you even ask me to do this in the first place?
Of course I feel this way about you. I've always felt this way about you. But I don't see why it's worth getting upset about it when I'm only telling the truth. You aren't good enough to do anything but stay at home all day. And while you're doing that, you're just using up my parents' money and taking it easy.
Oh, really? You think that I'm not working at all? You think that this is so easy? Then why don't you try it and I'll go back to my job?
Get real. You couldn't find a job no matter how hard you tried. And unlike you, I have duties and responsibilities to my company. I can't just quit to take care of some old bat. That is obviously way more suited to you since there's really nothing else that you'd be good for anyways.
You're so far up your own butt. You can probably see the sunshine out of your mouth. You literally asked me to quit my job to take care of your mom. And I've been. And every single day comes with new challenges and difficulties, and I can't believe you're treating me like this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's so hard feeding my mom applesauce for lunch, or whatever it is that you really do all day. I'm sure that life is just so difficult for you being home all day. I mean, you don't even have a job. What do you actually do while the rest of us are out there in the real world working?
What is the matter with you, Dean? Are you trying to make me upset? Do you want a divorce or something? Is that what you're getting at here?
Well, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to getting one. I can tell you that much.
You're really serious about that, aren't you? Whoa, Whoa.
In fact, since all you're doing is eating away at Britt and I's inheritance, I don't really think that our family even needs you anymore. You're a useless woman, and even more, useless wife.
Oh really? You think that I'm totally useless around the house? Why don't you go and ask your mom if she agrees with that?
And just why in the world do you think I would care about what that old bat has to say? I'm doing plenty for her right now with my salary. She doesn't need you, and she probably doesn't even realize the way that you've been taking advantage of her this whole time.
So you and your sister really think that I'm nothing better than a parasite on your family?
We don't think that. We know it. It's been obvious and you know it too. So quit playing dumb. You really think that you get to have the run of the house just because you nurse my mother? You're a housewife, and a useless one at that, and nothing more. And now that my sister and I are both on the same page about you, it's clear that I have no other choice at all but to divorce you.
And then if you really want to do this, let's do this then. I'll be happy to leave if it meant that I'll get rid of you and your sister.
Finally, we'll finally be free. All the years of having to support you and the months of having you lounge around the house, it's all finally going to end.
I don't even know how to start with that one. I mean, wow. You and your sister are just delusional and I can't get out of this situation fast enough. Have a nice life. Or don't. I really don't care. I've already gotten the divorce papers ready here and I've signed them. They'll be waiting for you on the table when you get back home.
Wait, you already have the divorce papers ready to go? Well, aren't you misprepared?
That's right, but now that this is happening, it can't happen fast enough. If you think I'm a parasite, then fine. I'll happily leave from where I'm not wanted, and it's clear that you're sick of having to support me since I'm so useless. So let's just end this whole thing and be done with each other forever.
Yolanda, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. This is really, really serious. I'm begging you here.
What is it? What do you want? Whatever it is, you can just text it here. Because I don't have time to call, nor do I want to hear your voice.
Please, things are going really badly here. You have to come back and help us. You're the only person we can turn to.
Can you quit freaking out in your messages and just tell me what is it that you want? I mean, you've got some nerve even coming to ask me for help after the way that you've treated me. Not only did you basically force me to quit my job to take care of your mom, but then you and your sister both were constantly putting me down for doing the thing that you asked me to do. I'm sorry, but I really just don't want to say anything or do anything to do with you ever again. Actually, I'm not sorry about that at all.
No, please, you don't understand. Ever since you left, my mom has been asking my sister and I which one of us is gonna take care of her now. Britt and I have been fighting ever since you left, and things are getting really bad here. You have to come back and help us.
Really? Is that what's happening? Well, I say it serves you two both right to have that to happen. But you were the ones who chased me out of the house, so I'm not going to come back. If you're really so upset about this though, you can always just pay for a live-in nurse to take care of your mom. Of course, I have no idea how you'll be able to afford something like that, but it is an idea. But you are out of your mind if you think that you can come back to me and ask me to go back to what I was doing, because that is simply not going to happen.
Well, the thing is that Britt tried doing the nursing for a little bit. She actually quit her job because she thought that it was going to be so easy, kind of like how you had it. But after 2 days of taking care of my mom, she had enough and was demanding that I do it instead. But I told her that there was no way I was going to do it, and that we should just look into a nursing service. But then my mom started complaining about how she only wanted someone she knew to be there taking care of her. And we don't know any nurses or people looking to do that kind of work, and people are getting so mad at each other. And my dad ended up throwing me out of the house over this. That's how bad things have gotten without you here to look after my mom.
So basically, it sounds to me like you're just paying for the mistake of throwing me out of the house. If you don't think any further ahead of what you all were doing to do once I was gone, then that is entirely on you, Dean. I mean, what's your plan for taking care of your mom if I wasn't there?
But you mean, you knew this was going to happen?
I figured that you probably put zero thought into this, and weren't thinking at all when you said that you wanted a divorce. I was wondering if you already had someone in mind who could take care of your mom. But it's clear to me now that you have no idea what you're doing. But this is what you get for acting like such an idiot. You really thought everything was just going to fall into place after you chased me out of the house? You know that I never even wanted to quit my job, but you gave me no other choice. You guilted me into doing it because you told me you had nobody else you could ask to take care of your mom. And then you divorced me and chased me out of the house, and you still haven't found anyone else?
Okay. I get it. I messed up, and I'm really sorry about that, okay? But can you please just come back? I need you here. We all need you here.
Well, I'm afraid that it's not quite simple, Dean.
What is that supposed to mean? What isn't that simple? Are you really not going to come back?
I mean that I have other things going on in my life, and I don't have time to come up and clean your messes.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. My parents told me something really strange, and I need you to come back here so we can fix all of this. My parents told me that they were going to leave everything in their will to you. Isn't that nuts? You have to come back here and tell them they're crazy.
Oh, that, yeah. I already knew all about that. Your dad reached out to me to let me know about it.
Wait, my dad already told you about all of this? Are you kidding me? So then, that means they were really serious about that. I don't believe it! How can they betray their own children like this to someone who isn't even part of the family?
I think I proved myself to be a greater part of the family to your parents in the time that I was there with your mom than you or your sister ever did.
But that still isn't fair. Why should you get what should rightfully be Britt and I's? I hate it. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know what you're asking that to me when the decision is entirely up to your dad. I didn't have anything to do with this at all.
Well, whatever. We can figure this out later. But you just need to come back here right away because there is a lot of work for you to do back home. The whole place is a mess without you.
And you think that I'm just going to come back running and clean up all your kisses for you? You can count me out.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I'm going to ignore every single request that make of me. And you want to know why? It's because we're divorced. I'm not your wife. You're not my husband, and I don't owe you anything.
Hold on a second. You can't be serious, right? Come on, you're just being totally ridiculous. I mean, I'll even let you live with us again.
You mean that you wanted me to come back and fix all your problems and you weren't even going to let me live there? Not that I would even want that in the first place. The answer is still no. I mean, the whole time that I was staying at home to take care of your mom, and you and your sister put me down as leech. But now you realize that without me, the whole house and your lives are falling apart. You did this to yourself, and I'm not going to help you out of this one.
Please, I'm really sorry. You're right. You're not a leech, and we need you. I realize that now.
Well, I'm glad that you do, but it's far too late for me to do anything about it for you both right now. You and I are over. So you and Britt can just keep fighting over who should be taking care of your mom.
But we can't. At this rate, this is gonna tear us apart. Please, my dad is already so mad at me. And my mom is sad too. I'm sad. How could they do this to their own son? And all because you're not here? It isn't fair.
It sounds to me like you just can't face up to the consequences of your actions, Dean.
No, it's not that at all. But even my dad said I'm useless as a son.
Well, I have to say that I strongly agree with your dad on that one.
But it isn't true. I work so hard at my job every day. I'm not useless.
Dean, I can't remember the last time that you paid for anything in the house. You've been even nothing but selfish, and your dad is right to put you down like that. You thought that I was a leech, but you've been the one expecting everyone else to do your work and pay for everything for you.
You don't really feel that way, do you? Because it isn't true, and it's not fair. Please, what can I do to make you come back to us? I don't know how we're supposed to carry on at this rate.
You still haven't given him a single good reason why I should do anything for you or your family. I sacrificed so much for you, and I got nothing but insults and condescension in return. You threw me out of the house, and now the same thing is happening to you, and I say good. I don't know or care what it is that you'll think of doing next, but just leave me out of it.
But what about my inheritance? You can't just take that away from me. Hey, why aren't you responding? You can't just leave me like this. You have to help me.
After that, I heard that even Brittany was kicked out of the house and that their parents moved into a nursing home. They even invited me over to see it one day. And we were able to catch up a bit. I felt bad for leaving Dean's mom in that position, but I felt like I had already done enough. I told them both that they didn't need to give me anything and that they should save their money for the nursing home. As for Dean and Brittany, I didn't even bother to ask what they were up to because the less I know, the better. As for me, after moving out, I went to go and live with my own parents for a little bit. I explained to them what happened and they were happy to let me stay with them until I found a new job. It wasn't long after that it happened and I was able to move out. It took me some time to get used to living on my own and working full-time again, but it was the most fulfilling that I had done in months. Although it's also strange getting used to the single life, I have to say that I prefer it far more than being married to Dean.